Okay, again, I am here in Winterthur, just outside of Zürich, and we're seeing some very, very impressive numbers. We've got our indoor bike parking right down here. You enter down that way. There's a bunch of bike parking out here as well. And one of the things that's quite evident is that there is a need for even more bike parking. And here's some more racks. A lot of them are full. And they're just kind of stacking them in there the best they can. We've got some scooter share parking here. More bike parking here. And then this is a 2-story bike velo parking essay. That is a 2-story bike garage. Fantastic. Nice cargo bike action there. I'm assuming that there is a ramp that we can take to get up. Yeah, here it is. And here's the ramp up. And since this is just a little bit further from the gate, you see that there are plenty of racks open. But this is what you have to do. If you really want to take it to the next level, you need to provide a little bit more secure parking so that people feel like their bike will be there for them when they get back. It looks like there might be some camera security here, but this looks pretty new and looks quite nice. All right, let's go exploring. We've got some younger kids heading down this way, and we're really looking to get a sense of this city here. It is noted for being a pretty bike-friendly environment here, and just based on the number of people using bikes to get to transit, access transit, that is not surprising. So, let's see what it's like to ride around here. As you can see, these kids have dropped immediately into this 30 kilometer per hour street. And my real question is, what are the bike lanes, infrastructure like, or is the entire area here just kind of the slow street treatment? So that's the $1 million question for this town. Let's see what we get. Got a rider coming towards us here. There's a slow street. Looked like that might have been a contraflow lane, bike lane. You can see we're in an old-fashioned, just simple painted bike lane structure here. And this is what we would like to see cities get away from. Here's a train crossing. wondering when that train was going to finally arrive. We went ahead and bailed and head over into this neighborhood. We can always pop back over there and check out that part of the neighborhood. Again, I'm just kind of wandering around. I want to see exactly how this city is getting its high ranking in terms of bicycle friendliness. It's entirely possible that it's getting it just because a large number of people ride, because of the quiet city streets, the quiet residential streets, like we're on right now. And we've got a school. It looks like it's not in operation today. Again, they might be on vacation. We're definitely seeing a fair number of indications that that people are riding bikes here. We saw the full bike parking station. You see nice modal filters passing through like this. Little park area. I got bike parking right there at that residential area. Again, Co-op is one of the grocery store chains here in the Zürich area in Switzerland. I got a few bikes out front. It's about 1:45 p.m. on a Friday, and this is feeling like a pretty sleepy town, for sure. Cargo bike there. Guy in the delivery van caused his alarm to go off. Hope he knows how to eventually disable it. Now, other than that one painted bike lane, we have seen no official bike infrastructure. What we are seeing in this environment is just nice, traffic-calmed streets, very quiet residential neighborhoods. I think this is that busy street that had the bike lane. And again, nice modal filter here. This looks like it may have been a through street at one point in time, sort of connected to that street. And they have since made this into a bike and pedestrian modal filter through this area. It's very nice. And they depaved too. So they depaved, planted sort of a rain garden here. It's nice to see. More bikes. All right, well, let's follow these folks down. Not sure where they're going, but we'll find out. Nice little bike parking structure. And we're back to our train intersection when we bailed and went down that way. And we see this couple is sort of veering off to the left and taking that quiet 30-kilometer-per-hour street in that direction. We'll go ahead and curve this way just for a little bit, see where this takes us. That was a nice little side street there. That was 20 kilometers per hour. Yep, another one, another 20 kilometer per hour zone. It's good to see that happening. And that can go a long ways to creating a bike and pedestrian friendly environment when you have a lot of really, really quiet side streets. It looks like up ahead we do not have our bike lane anymore, and we have a little bike box that we're sitting in at the moment. You can see my reflection right there in the mirror. It looks like it might pick up again after this little pinch point. It's clear that they have prioritized some turn lanes, and that's what's going on there. I don't think we're going to get an advanced signal of any kind, so we're just going to have to go for it. That's really a terrible design, cities and traffic signal engineers. When you do shit like that, it just increases the likelihood that the motor vehicle drivers are going to be aggressive and accelerate off the line like they just did. So this is interesting. This is wide enough right here. I wonder if they're eventually intending on this being a elevated multi-use path kind of situation. Very interesting. And we've got a little bike route right there. Let's go take that. This is a very interesting little temporary structure. Let's go figure that out right after we finish filming this little guy. And we've got another quiet street treatment here. But yeah, let's figure out what's going on with that little bike route. What are they thinking with that? And up ahead, you can see they're doing construction in that 20 kilometer per hour home street zone. All right. I think this is really simply an accommodation for the construction that's happening on this street. And that's fine. This is cool that while this street is being redone, they have built a bike lane here and a walkway right here. Again, cities, this is just, you know, first class. When you have an opportunity to create space for people walking and biking, even when, and especially when, there's road construction. And you see that this is completely blocked as they're working on this right now. Looks like our route that we're taking is this direction. And around. Thank goodness that there are quite a few people out riding that I can just kind of follow. It's always a good sign. Again, we're not talking about Netherlands level people out biking, but this is a very sleepy city at the moment. Most people are probably still at work and could actually be vacationing too. We're not seeing a bunch of kids going to and from school. Clearly on a bicycle route. Got our bicycle symbol in the middle of the street. It's a 30km/h street. I believe this is more school facilities, athletic facilities here. And it's a little hard to tell, I know, but up ahead I count at least 5 people on bikes. 3 of them coming towards us, so we'll see them in just a moment. And for all intents and purposes, we have the entire street to ourselves. There's really no motor vehicles traveling through this space at the moment. That's a cool cargo trailer. And truly, all ages and abilities. Definitely has a laid-back feel to it and vibe to it, which I suppose I shouldn't be too surprised with a city right around 100,000 inhabitants. And especially since I'm catching it on a mid-summer's day, July here. So we are on a velo route of some sort, right past these little goats right here. And right on cue, we've got a family riding their bikes past us. Oh, and I don't know if we could hear that, but the rooster just crowed. So this is a nice little feature that we see in many parts of Europe here, and that is these garden plots. And so people are able to secure a garden plot. They can build a little cottage, a little structure. They can't live in it, but it's just a wonderful way for people to, you know, grow some food or some flowers, spend some time gardening. This is a fabulous thing to do, you know, for folks who do not have access to any land. Maybe they live in an apartment or a home that doesn't allow for them to have anything that's where they can actually grow things. And so this is a really, really wonderful tradition. And one of the things that I love about them is frequently we have a network of bike paths. that, you know, skate right through them, give access to them. And so, yeah, again, just brilliant. Love to see this incorporated more in North America. We, of course, have a wonderful community garden right along the Boggy Creek Trail, just before you get to the Martin Luther King transit stop. It's nowhere near this extensive, but same idea. I'd just like to see more of this. This could be something for Parks and Recreations departments that you can, you know, sort of encourage and incorporate, and it's a heck of a lot less cost than trying to maintain and mow a whole bunch of lawn, sport fields. You can see more access to some homes here. I suppose financially they could be structured in such a way that it could be sustainable too. It's another little connection to the neighborhood. And this is part of a school. As you can tell, this sort of creates a linear park-like feel as you're rolling through. And because you're not doing battle with fast-moving traffic, the stress level goes down, and you don't feel like you're racing. You're not going anywhere fast. Okay. We found ourselves a street, kind of a standard street. Doesn't look like it's a very fast street. Again, we'll just kind of follow this gal for a little bit, see where we go. Looks like we've got a bus stop area here. We've got overhead wires here, so it looks like this is part of an electrified bus route. Ooh, I like that little zone right over there. Let's pop over and check that out after this bus. What I saw over here was this delightful little quiet little street. And I couldn't tell if it's like a prioritized bike street or not. But let's go check it out. It's this one right here to the right. So it's 20 kilometer per hour. It sounds like to the left we have some running water. There's some info on it. Yeah, it seems like it's just kind of a little quiet street area. We're transitioning from 20 kilometer per hour to 30 kilometer per hour. We've got a little crossing here. There's the water we heard. And now we're back in a tiny, tiny little street. Very cool. Rackenbacker Weg. Let's go take that. Grabnacker wig. This is just a tiny little connector. These are brilliant little things. These little connectors. Again, looks like we've got a school right there. And we've got an improved mid-block crossing here. Just a standard painted bike lane. Again, this is completely inadequate for all ages and abilities. You really need to provide something more substantial for people. All right, we're gonna continue on this little Riverside pathway here. Bunch of car parking. Not sure why. It's kind of odd. Surface car parking. Okay, I'm here at my little sort of creekside bike path. It's also a transit stop right here, and so a bunch of people just got onto that extended bus and off they go. Quick loading, and away it goes. Okay, we got a fresh battery in the front camera. Both of my cameras are heating up and overheating too, because it is freaking hot here. Not Texas hot, but it's getting close to, I think, 90 degrees Fahrenheit here. So, pretty hot. Especially for cameras. Maybe this water-cooled air will help. I don't know what the story is for this little stretch, this little pathway, but this is kind of cool. And I do mean cool, literally and figuratively. It's nice to get into the shade, nice to be next to water, nice to be next to green space. And so it is actually cooler than where we were at, up there in the asphalt heaven, where the heat island effect was starting to really bake me and my cameras. We've got a whole lot of housing right here. And so you can see off in the distance just a ton of bikes. Nice little covered bridge here. We gotta take the covered bridge, right? Of course we do. Of course we do. There's the money shot, the river shot. All right. And on this side, it's a natural surface trail. And the 205 bike path is here. Nice. What should we do? Should we go back and take the natural surface trail? I don't know. Let's take this for just a little bit. Decisions. This is more garden plots. Wonderful thing to do. Little access to this little park area here. Very nice. Shall I? Of course. There we go. See if I can practice my... Oh! Wasn't able to make it. All right, so here's the ending of that little natural surface trail. Just came to right here. Can't tell if it continues on over there. Our other trail is on that side. Let's go explore and see if it picks up on the other side. We've got our little arrow here. Another money shot of the water. All right, there's our pedestrian bridge. All right, time for a battery change. Drink of water. And yeah, we're on the urban rural edge. Okay, just pulling away from that little pit stop there to swap out batteries, get a drink of water, and we're gonna head down this little quiet street here and try to make our way back into the city center. Another school zone here. Back to this nice filtered permeability. Yeah, nice filtered permeability here. Just wanted to show that as part of this school area, you've got covered bike parking. Very nice to have. I should say essential to have. We've got to check out this waterfall here. Very nice. Trying to take in this waterfall without cars. But the cars seem to be rolling by at a pretty steady pace. All right. Thank you, cars. Thank you so much. There's literally no pedestrians up here. I might as well be up here. Yeah, look at this cool pedestrian bridge over the river, or a tributary of the river. Cool. It definitely doesn't look like they want you riding a bike up there. Tiny waterfall there. Fun play area over here for the kids. Too hot for them out here. No, UPS, no. Dude's just sitting in there too. All right, we have a bike signal there. That's interesting. Looks like we're a bus bike lane. Yeah, there it is, bus bike lane. Okay, I popped off of that main street because it looks like we might be able to use these quiet side streets to be able to get there. There meaning back across the train tracks over to the Old Town area. We're kind of traveling directly towards the train tracks at the moment. It's very interesting seeing the developments in here. A lot of them just had a tremendous number of bikes parked there. Ah, look at this. This seems to be indicating, similar to our edge lane road type treatment, transitioning to a 20 kilometer per hour home street, shared space. Looks like we got a brewery here. A little garden area there. A brewery there. All right. Looks like a bike shop of some sort. Well, we were looking for a way over the bridge, or over the train tracks. We found that. So let's go see if we can make it to the downtown area, Old Town. Really cool old industrial areas there, right along the train tracks. And then we transition into kind of the new development, the new city. Well, we just had that bus pass us, and that is an indication of we are in a counterflow bike lane. And it looks like this is a big pedestrian zone area here. All right, let's go check it out. Again, it's a pretty dang hot afternoon. It's too early for the evening crowd to be coming out. And it's warm enough that anybody who has the flexibility and the inclination, they have found a cool place to go swim. There's outdoor cafe, a little shade. It's nice. Nice pedestrian street there. Really impressive bike parking provided for the downtown, Old Town area here. And the theater, museum. Yeah, I can definitely see why this is considered one of Switzerland's most bike-friendly cities. Not so much from the infrastructure as just the sheer number of people who seem to feel comfortable riding. And clearly, there's a lot of people who are doing it. Cool. All right. Do one last loop around and then catch our train back to Zurich. Let's head down this street. All the bikes are parked here. This looks like it's a pedestrian zone. And very nicely done. Again, when you're seeing the elderly out riding, you know that you're doing something well. Oh, here they are. They found the water. A cool place to hang out on this hot, hot day. Very nice. And you know what? I think I'm gonna swing around and stop and have a drink. Get some water and enjoy this afternoon before heading back to Zurich. How does that sound? Hey, thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this little tour. And if you did, hey, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below and share it with a friend. And if you haven't done so already, be honored to have you subscribe to the channel. Just click on that subscription button down below and ring that notifications bell. And if you're enjoying this content here on the Active Towns channel, please consider supporting my efforts by becoming an Active Towns ambassador. Super easy to do. Just click on the join button right here on YouTube down below, or you can navigate over to activetowns.org. Click on the support tab at the top of the page, and there's several different options, including becoming a Patreon supporter. Okay, that's it for now. Until next time, this is John signing off by wishing you much activity, health, and happiness. Cheers. And again, just want to send a huge thank you to all my Active Towns ambassadors supporting the channel financially via YouTube memberships, YouTube super thanks, as well as making contributions to the nonprofit and joining my Patreon. Every little bit adds up and is very much appreciated. Thank you all so much.